Coming up on Hogue and Johns, just one trade to discuss, and Dionne Miller, great friend of the program. She's awesome. Joins us today. It all starts right now. What's up? Welcome in. Hogue and Johns back with you midweek on to the New York Giants. Bears can win their 6th game in 7 tries, Johnsy.
That's good. Correct?
I believe that. Yeah.
That would qualify as good, as a good football team doing good football things.
Yep. Did you think we'd be in a stretch where 6-1 was possible?
Whew, no, let's be honest. Absolutely not. I thought, I expected some good things to happen early on with Ben Johnson, but as we said in the last podcast, as we open that show, 5-3 halfway through the season, it's surprising. I'll be honest, but you take it. Absolutely, you take it.
I don't know if it's surprising that this team's 5-3. I think this is kind of what. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's kind of what everybody was hoping for, that they would be. I know,
not expecting.
Yeah, I picked them to win 10 games at the beginning of the year. And they're kind of right on track for that because the schedule's going to get harder. So they're in this stretch where they should be taking advantage of, wins over the Saints and, in hindsight, wins over the Raiders. Even that Commanders team seems to be reeling right now. And I'm not trying to diminish the wins at all. I'm just saying this is what teams that are actually competing for playoff spots should be doing, is taking advantage of this type of stretch in the schedule and then hopefully getting better and better and better to the point that when the schedule does get tougher later in the year, they can compete with, the other teams in their division that's not going to be easy. It's a gauntlet coming up.
Toughest division of football. Best division of football. Ben Johnson said that on Monday.
Yeah, 4 more games against the NFC North. The Eagles on the schedule, the 49ers on the schedule. We debated all that, the Bears' chances to actually win the North, in our insider analysis column, which is out this morning, Wednesday morning. You can become a diehard. Johnsy has his own code now. You tell us the offer. I don't even know what it is. I didn't get a code. You have a code.
You don't like the code? I got the code. Let me pull it.
No, I like the code. I'm just saying I don't have one, so I need you to promote it right now.
So go to use code JOHNS. That's JAHNS for $36 diehard offer. Unlock premium coverage, our coverage, maybe some coverage from Patrick Barton, everyone else who writes for All CHGO, but there's also the events. Our new merch and the discounts that come with it, plus the great tailgates. I think the new merch is the selling point. So if Katie has that graphic at some point, we could throw that up at some point. There it is.
20% off everything.
So go to allchgo.com if you're not a diehard subscriber and use code JOHNS, JAHNS.
All right. Joe Tryon Shoyinka.
JTS.
Now, JTS. You don't want to try to say it?
JTS.
No, I'll spend an hour.
I remember Joe Tryon a couple years ago making 2 sacks against the Chicago Bears.
I'm sorry, what's his name?
I think it was just Joe Tryon at that one point.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at Brugler's draft guide yesterday from 2021, and he just had him listed as Joe Tryon.
Thank you. At one point earlier in his career, he was just Joe Tryon.
So he brought the Shoyinka back. He's bringing Shoyinka back. I'm just going to keep proving I can say it, and you can't. That's what
Joe Tryon Shoyinka. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
See?
There you go. You got it.
But you gotta save time. You gotta save energy. You gotta save words. So JTS. Do you think they'll call him JTS?
Probably
not.
I mean, this is the second straight week they've added a player with some name things we got to figure out. I mean,
but CJ Gardner Johnson wanted to be known as CD.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
CD.
But
not like CD, the letters, or CD like CD Lamb. Ceedy. Got very confusing.
So like CD, but spelled with a C.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Anyway, what do you think about Joe Tryon Shoyinka and this being the Bears' one move?
Well, like, it's a nice depth piece. He's got experience. He's a former first-round pick, but he only played 31 snaps this year. I'm sure you guys talked about this yesterday on your CHGO show. 31 snaps seems extremely incomplete. Maybe a change of scenery, maybe a change of scheme. Maybe Dennis Allen has some things that will fix whatever it is wasn't working in Cleveland after he signed a 1 year, $4.75 million contract with the Browns to get only 31 snaps. So we shall see what he can do for the Bears.
Yeah, because before that he played a lot for the Bucs. Played a lot of snaps, has a lot of experience in his career. So yeah, maybe that's
the Bears needed somebody with experience. I mean, they're down two guys. They lost two guys to season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
One other player, Dominic Robinson, is out for a few weeks with a high ankle sprain. You need experience. You need somebody to join there, as I just burped on our podcast, but you need somebody to help that mix.
I mean, he's here to me, replace what Dio and Dom Rob and Shamar Turner were giving you in terms of setting the edge and stopping the run. I think and I hope that when it comes to pass rush, it's Austin Booker's time now. It is time, a year and a half into this thing, a toolsy, sort of a high ceiling type player that they took a bet on. Remember, they traded back into that draft. They were out of picks. They traded back into that draft to draft Austin Booker. Now's the time. Now's the time to see what he can really do. And to me, that's the big question, is what can he give this pass rush the rest of the season?
And he looked good in his season debut against the Bengals. One exceptional pass rush, too. So is he your starter now? Like, what is he?
I think so. Who else is?
I think he has to be by default. Like every down, rushing downs, all that.
Yeah. No, I think he has to be, but because that would be it. I mean, I think Joe Tryon Shoyinka can play Sunday, but I think it's going to be off the bench and sort of in a limited role. But somebody's got to take those reps.
James Hardy.
Yeah.
Pass rushing situations.
That would be Daniel Hardy.
Daniel Hardy.
Who's James Hardy?
I don't know.
Isn't that like
the wrestler?
Like the Hardy Boys or
Hardy
something?
Boys. Let's see. James Hardy.
I mean, it's not good when
James Hardy is a former wide receiver. Oh, he passed away at the age of 31.
Oh, was he the Oklahoma State guy? Right?
No, Indiana.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He was a baller at Indiana back when we were in college.
He was a second-round pick.
Yes.
Two-time All Big Ten.
No, he can't. That was back when Indiana wasn't very good, but he was a big dude. He was hard to cover. Actually, I won't get into the details. I now remember how that went. But all right, let's get to Dionne Miller, who joins us now. Our good friend of Hogan John's, always good to have her back on the show. Hi, Dionne.
Good morning. How are you?
Dionne, what are you bringing to Hallis Hall later today?
Well, boys, today is Caitlin Sharkey's birthday.
Ooh.
And I have made a chocolate ganache cake. So We'll see how it goes.
That's
if
you're making it, we know it's good. So I don't even know what that is, but now I want it.
So the veteran move is you don't even wait. Like there's some reporters who wait to like post locker room or post interviews. No. You get on this food right away that Dionne brings to Hallis Hall every Wednesday. You don't wait. You get it right away while it's fresh before everybody gets their hands all over it. you get it right away.
I always feel bad when somebody's like, I went back to get some and there wasn't any. And I always feel bad. So I hope that there's enough today. I kind of like pray over it and hope it multiplies if necessary.
You snooze, you lose.
That's true. That's true.
Well, happy birthday to Caitlin Sharkey.
Yes.
That's awesome. Sounds like we're all going to benefit from that. So I'm excited. Because I just was picturing just bags and bags of Halloween candy being brought to Alice today.
I'll do that. I got some.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know what this Switch Witch thing is?
No, what's that?
I'm finding out about this like in the last 24 hours, but it's this like basically kids will trade in their Halloween candy for a toy instead, or
Really?
maybe a video game, depending on how old you are. I have no idea. But so yeah,
Trade
so
with your parents
with the Switch Witch, yeah, whatever that is that I just found out about. So instead of having piles and piles of candy in my house, Livy just got a cool little Barbie witch, which I didn't even know was a thing. They make a witch that's a Barbie.
Didn't know that.
And James got some earbuds.
So the candy's gone.
And the candy just disappeared.
Wow. So
never heard of this. In the John's household, we just take the candy and it just disappears on the kids, and they
don't get anything.
They get angry.
Okay.
They get angry.
They just get angry.
I don't want my kids to know about this, actually.
Okay. Should I have not shared that on the podcast?
I mean,
know.
I don't know. I've never heard of it, but now I feel like I must investigate. I mean, 'tis the season to give our kids all the things they don't need, right? I mean, isn't that what we're all about right now?
We're getting close to that.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume this was just something that was a thing. Maybe my wife just made this up and invented this whole thing, so I should give her more credit. I don't know. Maybe this is about to take the whole world by storm. Switch Witch. I'm assuming she heard about it somewhere, but maybe she invented it.
Well, she is next level brilliant, especially if this is something she came up with on her own. Like, I'm very impressed. As moms, we're always trying to reinvent something. So this would be a monumental moment if the Switch Witch takes off and Krista is the originator of it.
She's the Switch Witch, I guess. All right. Well, while we're trading in Halloween candy for toys, the Bears were trading draft picks for another defensive end that they desperately needed, and more so not making trades was really kind of the story, that they didn't go bigger. What did you make, Dion, of the Bears moves or non-moves at the trade deadline?
Well, I agree with you guys. They needed someone up front defensively. I mean, I feel like at this point, if you're available and healthy, you're hired. I mean, that's kind of what they need. They did get a little bit of experience there. I'm not surprised they didn't do something bigger. I feel like they recognize where they're at as a team. I love that they're winning right now, but they have a lot of work to do, a lot of things to clean up. Who are they if they're not taking the ball away all the time? I think defensively, they're still trying to figure out what that is. I give Dennis Allen a lot of credit for the way that defense started this season. I think he recognized where the strength and skill was on that unit, and he capitalized on it, setting them up to take the ball away because he knew he wasn't going to get a lot of pressure up front. And now that we've had injuries in the secondary and they're depleted there, you're starting to see a lot of the holes on this defense. So I think they recognize where they are. They got somebody that they needed that can help contribute right away. But I'm not super shocked that they didn't do something major.
So, Dion, the Bears are 5-3. They're in the mix in the NFC North. Caleb Williams is getting better. The Bears, I think, still lead the league in takeaways. Like, what do you make of their record? Are you surprised by it? Well, what's kind of stands out to you by their recent run of success?
The thing that stands out the most to me is that they are starting to believe they can win these games. I mean, how many times last year, and we've said it so much already this season, that they'd get to the fourth quarter and be in those tight games. These are games they would lose. They would have lost in Vegas. They would have never won in Washington. They would have not won that game against the Bengals this weekend. Like, there's just that like quick acceptance of defeat, I think, was part of that culture that Ben Johnson has changed. And it is amazing and remarkable to me that just the fact that his enthusiastic belief in them has kind of it just brought this swell of confidence to them that they know they're still in it, or they know they still have a chance, and they've got somebody that they so wholeheartedly trust who's going to try to set them up for success. I think that is the biggest difference in what we've seen so far. There is still a lot of work to do, for sure. I mean, how many times on Sunday was I screaming at the TV, Caleb, throw it? Like, I just still those things that he's like growing through that I think Ben is going to help him like kind of move forward from. But there's still a lot to learn for him, for this offense, for Ben to figure out exactly what his team does well and to set them up that way. But I think they should be very pleased with 5-3. I don't know if I had them winning like 8 or 9 games. So I feel like, okay, 5-3, but do I only see them winning 3 or 4 more? I don't know. That feels like a really long stretch of the season to only have 3 more wins. So I'm kind of still figuring out exactly what they are too.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to learn here pretty quickly as the games get tougher. It's funny, though. I think we sometimes underestimate how much these players are actually a lot like us in some of these moments late in games and what they're actually thinking about. So we taped an interview actually last night with Tyson Bagent. It's going to air on CHGO Bears later today as we're recording on Wednesday morning right now. So it'll be on Wednesday's edition. And we asked him, like, what were you thinking about as when you're up 14 late in the game, and are you feeling comfortable? He's like, I'm thinking about how Joe Flacco came back on us 2 years ago in Cleveland. they have the same thoughts we do a lot of these times. And I honestly think that this is a little underrated, as much as we have talked about it, Dion, this idea of the Bears now winning games they would previously lose. They're openly talking about this stuff in the locker room. And it's like they got to get this own belief, and it's starting to happen, that they can pull these games out. And obviously the more you can, it goes back to the idea of learning how to win. And this seems to me like a team that is learning how to win.
They had to learn how to win because they had so much losing. I feel like even towards the end of last season, I think it was Minnesota. It was after the Minnesota game, right? That we were talking to Jalen Johnson in the locker room, and it seemed like he was like unhinged. Like it was like he wasn't, like they have gone through so much losing, and it weighs on them, but you don't know how much they're actually talking about it or talking about acknowledging that it's going on. It was just kind of happening around them because there was so much dysfunction going on at the time. I think you don't realize how heavy that is until you're out of it. And now that that's lifted from them and they can focus on the football and they can talk through like why things are happening and trusting each other, I think that goes a long way. You have to learn how to win in this league because it's not as simple as just going out there and doing what you planned. I mean, we've seen what Caleb can do when plays are scripted, but then when things go after that, like when you get later in the game and you have to move and adjust to what the other team is doing, that's where they're learning, that's where they're growing, and that's where we're seeing the brilliance of Ben Johnson, but also their trust in him. And so I think they are learning to win. They had to. It's amazing to me when I see Matt Eberflus on the sidelines in Dallas, right? And you're like, wow, that anyone thought, I don't know, that it had to weigh on him too, right? Like, I don't know that he's the same coach that he was, having gone through that experience and now struggling the way that he is. It just is remarkable to me that he was in charge for as long as he was, and how much dysfunction we went through here, you guys. Like, it was a lot, and it's heavy on the ones that have carried over. And so now that they can feel a little bit more confident, trusting what they're learning, trusting the coaching staff, the grown-up coaching staff that is around them, it's exciting for them. And they should acknowledge it. They should recognize that what they did on Sunday in Cincinnati was a very big deal. I want to know that. I want to know that from like how they feel about that, like having watched that tape and realizing how many chances they had to lose that game and it didn't happen. Like, what does that do for you moving forward? I think that's a huge moment for them to trust themselves that they can pull themselves out of stuff like that.
So the algorithm last night on X populated this photo in my feed, and it is a Photoshop photo of Ben Johnson on the sideline, like holding up his play sheet like to his mouth like this.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see it, Adam? So it has BU on it, crossed out. So BU on it is crossed out, but under it says, "I'm going to effing kill you." That's what it said. And I know it's a joke, but like, there's a level of it that is also like, oh yeah, that's how he kind of coaches. Like that's how he wants his team to function mentally, whether it's the physicality, tenacity, the way he wants his run game going. Like that is something real for Ben Johnson, albeit this is a joke. But Dion, to your point, like there is a Ben Johnson effect happening. And I think we're all learning how to define it, just like that Photoshopper was learning how to define it in his or her own way. But to bring Eberflus into it, like I felt like Eberflus's teams were finding ways to lose, like learning new ways to lose games. Well, Ben Johnson's Bears are finding different ways to win games every single week now.
Mm-hmm. And I saw that picture, and my first thought was maniacal. Like that's how he looked, right? Like he just looks so intense. That video, I don't know, when was it? Was it whatever whenever we had that video of the side by side when the plays were happening and Ben wasn't even smiling. Now that might have been doctored up too. Like, I don't know about that, but I appreciate the intensity that he has. And I think that's the juxtaposition that we're seeing of him on the sideline and then at him absolutely losing his mind when they win in the locker room. It just seems like a different person, but I feel like that's his personality. He's got so much tension during the game that when it's over, it all comes out in good, better, best, and everybody's screaming at each other. I do think that there is this factor of preparedness that he has given the team that they didn't have with the previous coaching staff. I think a lot of what, like, learning new ways to lose wasn't that they were trying not to win. I think it was just that they didn't know what to do in every situation. And I think that Ben is so focused on the details that he wants to prepare them for any possible moment so that they're not surprised, so that he's not surprised, so that he can kind of adjust and move guys around and make and set them up to find ways to win in that moment. I think that's really important to note too. I think Ben is a big part of that. And teaching Caleb in those moments to trust himself. I think there was a little bit of, even before he hit Colston Loveland for that game-winning touchdown, there were a couple of moments just even in that drive that I was like, oh my gosh, like, does he know what he's doing? Like, is he ready? And I think him staying calm in those moments says a lot about Ben's preparedness and how he's preparing these guys for these games.
So he did let his guard down a little bit. I don't know how many people caught this, but while most people were rightfully so seeing Darnell Wright doing a cartwheel on the Colston Loveland touchdown from the end zone angle, on the all 22 angle, you will see a Bears coach running down the sidelines towards the end zone, going nuts in a celebration. And that coach is Ben Johnson. They say the eye in the sky doesn't lie, and picks up everything. So Ben did have his, most times a play happens and he's just right back into that call sheet. But in that moment, he completely let loose on that Colston Loveland 58-yard touchdown to win it.
He was breathing so heavy on the sidelines, looking through that play sheet. Like, you could tell he was very tense. I remember in the preseason too, though, didn't he come out on the field and like he was like all excited? Didn't that happen in the preseason?
The goal line stand. I think Noah Sewell had like the big tackle. Yes. Down.
Yeah. So we've seen a little bit of it, but I love the intensity. I love the way he's coaching them. I wish I could be in more meetings just to see how he gets their attention and how he's won the room. I think on all sides of the ball. I remember talking to Darnell Wright before the season, and he said he was impressed with how Ben could move from position group to position group and be able to like tell everyone what they were supposed to be doing, and just had a broad understanding of the game and how it all works together. And I thought that was pretty impressive early on. And now I'm sure it's just grown as he's gotten more confident as a head coach. He's still learning too. I mean, this is his first year. I think sometimes we forget because he's been so smooth at the podium and so kind of seamlessly being this head coach. I think that we have to remember it's still his first time. He's leaning a lot on his staff and leaning a lot on the analytics and research and taking these steps as a first-time head coach. I think we need to remember that. And it's impressive. So then they should be excited that they're 5-3.
Speaking of Darnell Wright, what was more impressive, the cartwheel with the injured elbow, or him taking a first-round pick defensive end and driving him from right to left 5 yards and into DJ Moore? I want to ask DJ Moore about that because he sees it coming. He's like, oh boy.
Right. That was so impressive. And I loved it, but the cartwheel has to be like next level. I mean, like that was just sheer jubilation. I mean, that is super fun, but him coming into his own, I think, has been impressive too. I mean, you guys, Theo Benedette is starting on the offensive line. Like how did we get here? Like what just happened? And for them to come together the way that they have, I think that's great. It's what they need. It's what Caleb needs. I think a lot of his confidence stems from the fact that he's not getting hit 68 times. Like he knows he's got some protection up there and in Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson and Drew Dahlman, and they're kind of a really cohesive unit. Tom Thayer says all the time, you need thousands and thousands of snaps to really feel like that offensive line is going to be solidified in front of them. But I think that they're growing in confidence, and seeing Darnell Wright do that, I don't care how bad Cincinnati's defense is. You make plays like that, you feel better walking out of the game.
Well, and that wasn't some bum he did that to. That was a rookie, but it's a first round pick. I mean, that was a kind of a welcome to the NFL moment for Shamar Stewart on the other side.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And that defense, they they're so young, and you ask anybody from Cincinnati, why are the Bengals in the situation that they are, and it's because their defense is so bad, and they decided to play the young guys, and they're getting experience on the job. We've been there, we know what that looks like and how hard that is and the growing pains of it. But you're right, I mean, no slump. I mean, and Darnell absolutely crushed him, so it was cool.
How are you, like you mentioned earlier, like you watch Caleb, and I think we all have our own internal clock as we're watching him in terms of throwing the ball. I think Adam Hogue might have the shortest internal clock, like the throw the ball meter. You still keeping track of those? But
that was more Justin Fields, but yeah, it comes out every once in a while. Mm-hmm. It's weird how like ingrained, like I don't have a clock going, but I feel like the clock in my head is pretty much at 3 seconds. Like if you're still holding on the ball at 3 seconds, I'm probably yelling at the television. Yeah,
a lot of me is like if he's looking right and his head moves left, like I know he's going through his progressions. Then you're like, okay, throw the ball. Mm-hmm. This is any quarterback, and if it doesn't happen, that means either the coverage is good, something was missed, or we're about to see a scramble. But Dion, like, what do you make of Caleb Williams' season thus far? 8 games into his first run here at Ben Johnson.
Well, he's definitely gotten better. I think he's gotten better at running the offense. I still just feel like I'm still waiting to see all of the talent jumps out. There are some moments where you're like, whoa, he makes throws that you don't see other quarterbacks make. There's no question about that, but they're not happening at a consistent rate. I still feel like I don't see a lot of the generational leadership. I don't see a lot of that generational, like, just command when you're on the field and like knowing that he's the reason that they won the games. I did listen to your voicemails, which is my favorite thing that you guys do post game. It's absolutely awesome. I've threatened to call in before, and I need to at some point. But at any rate, somebody
awesome.
said,
you should.
I really want to. But
please do. I would really enjoy that.
I have to think of something really good, Katie, and I promise that I will. But hearing the callers say that they won because of Caleb. And I started to think about, like, was it really because of him? Now, this is where I feel like he has been so elite, is in those late game moments, is in those like final minute drives where he has been able to truly stay calm. And that is a gift. That is a talent that we didn't get to see a lot last year because they were chasing so much. And there wasn't a lot of like, we saw some of the game on the line. He was able to deliver, but not as much as we've seen this year. And I think that says a lot about who he is. I'm not ready to say he is the quarterback. He is the franchise quarterback they've been craving, or he isn't. Like, I don't know that I'm ready to make some sort of blanket statement on that. He's still learning. He's still growing. He would admit that too. I think there's a lot of talent there. I don't know. I guess that's where I'm stuck. I want him to be the guy. I wanted Justin Fields to be the guy. Heck, I wanted Mitch Trubisky to be the guy. Like, I think we all want that to happen. It's just, we need to see it at a consistent level, that not just win the games on the line, but like going out there and dominating. You felt like this game against a bad Bengals defense was an opportunity for Caleb Williams to come out there and say, I'm going to get right from what happened the week before against Baltimore. Like, he's going to figure it out. He's going to just look so in command of everything in front of him. And I don't know that we saw that the whole game until the end, and the chaos of everything. It was super exciting. But okay, what did the tape look like? And that's where I want to hear what Ben Johnson has to say. Because after that Baltimore game, he said he didn't think Caleb played bad. And you throw for 285 yards. I don't think he played awful in that game. I just am looking for, I guess, consistency is the best thing that I can say. And just more of those moments where it feels like he is so in control. And there's no doubt about that he is the guy in charge of that offense and leading the way and guiding them. I think that's what I'm waiting to see. That's a long answer to your question for me to say. I'm not sure. I'm still watching. I'm still waiting to make some sort of determination.
Well, Dion, what is it? A chocolate ganache? Is that what
yes,
that's what's coming? Okay.
Yes, that's what's coming.
Well, all right. Well, I'm excited. So we're a couple hours away, John C, from the chocolate ganache.
Remember, don't wait. Attack.
I've waited too long before, and it is
yes. There's some reporters, I won't name names, by the time, like, if you're gonna wait. So just to fill everybody in, Dion brings these amazing treats to Hallis Hall every Wednesday and these usual, like, Sunday game, noon game routine, whatever. But like, some reporters will overindulge. Some cameramen will definitely overindulge if given the opportunity. So if you wait on the treat, there is a good chance you will get slim pickings or you won't get anything at all, Adam.
Yeah.
Attack.
And I'm not a huge sweets guy too, so I'm usually the one who's guilty of like, all right, I'm gonna wait a little bit, and then, oh no, I better grab the last piece. Which I'm not afraid to do. If I have to be that guy, I will be that guy.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Two things I have to say before I move on. First of all, Mount Carmel in the playoffs. I'm very proud of you guys. I'm a big Corsairs fan, so I follow everything you guys are doing, and I'm proud of you guys. So that's good, right?
Thank you. Yes, big game against St. Charles North, which I was informed by Marshall Harris yesterday is on TV this weekend, which I didn't even know.
Oh, great. I love when that happens because then we're assured to get highlights on the Mighty Seven. That's awesome.
And he's calling the game.
Oh, awesome.
And also I looked at the weather this morning and it looks like it's going to be in the 30s and raining.
Yep. Yep. It's going to be really cold, but that's awesome. No, you guys have had a really good season and I've been following along. So I'm proud of you for that. But then also the two of you, I remember this is so silly. I remember exactly where I was the first time I listened to the Hogan Johns podcast a decade ago, whatever it was. And I remember thinking, wow, what a brilliant idea. And like, look at you guys now. Like, I just am very proud of you. So
thanks.
It's fun to watch you all.
We're becoming curmudgeons, but we're good.
No. I feel like sometimes I am. Like, you guys know me. I'm always like the glass half full, but I always feel like I feel like lately I've covered so much Bears losing and disappointment that I like expect it. So I almost don't know what to do when they're winning these games. I'm like, wow, that just happened. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
That's why, well, it can beat you down a little bit, but we're in a little bit of a good stretch here. Let's hope it continues. The Bulls are 6-1. They came back last night. The Hawks
that was amazing.
The Hawks are getting back to the point where they're now frustrating you when they lose, which is a good thing. That means that they're playing better where you expect better. And of course, the Cubs made the playoffs. So let's see if this thing can flip in a much better direction here.
Wouldn't it be fun? Our jobs are just better when everybody's winning. It's just better.
It is. I think
according to Twitter.
No, yeah,
not according to Twitter.
They like controversy.
We always want.
No,
it's always clicks and negativity.
No, it's great. It's great if they win, but if they don't, then we need to talk about why. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Nobody likes that. Yeah, that's the biggest misconception. I could tell you with absolute certainty through my own experiences covering the Hawks in 2010 and those great teams. Like, winning is good for business, everybody.
It is.
You can do more stories. The coverage is different. Like, there are so many different stories that open up and can be told when they're winning that you can't do when they're losing. So
correct.
Maybe that's where we're at. Maybe we're finally there for the Bears after a long, long trek.
I hope so.
Krista and I were, starting to discuss Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we're like, what did we do last year for Thanksgiving again? Oh yeah, I went to my sister's, and the Bears played, and I got there late, and then I was like, I have to leave because I'm pretty sure they're going to fire Matt Eberflus. Yeah. So we don't have to worry about that this year, which is great. And even Christmas, we just gotta, they're going to have a relevant game hopefully that weekend. Is the plan. That's what I'm thinking.
That's the plan. It changes the whole holiday vibe, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, I still remember walking into that locker room in Detroit and you're like, something happened in here. And
I
it's
know.
my job to find out what.
There's evidence all crazy. Over.
Yes.
Oh, it was wild.
Why is Kevin Warren standing next to Bill Williams? This is different. This is weird. Something happened in here. Got to figure it out.
Oh my gosh. And I don't go to every game. And I remember looking at a reporter and I'm like, is Kevin Warren always in here after they lose? And they were like, no. Yeah, that
Johns is in there like CSI Detroit, like trying to pick up the crime scene, trying to figure out
what's going on. Going through the wreckage.
Yeah. Well, we had the story then a couple of days later, but
it was wild.
I will never forget the energy in that locker room in Thanksgiving of all days.
Thanksgiving of all days. I know. Such a good holiday, and you just felt it was so ominous.
Oh yeah.
But here we are. We got Ben Johnson as a result. So
yeah, and we're talking about cake.
Yes. And we're talking about cake.
Dion, we'll see you in a couple hours, okay?
Thanks, you guys. You're the best.
Thanks, Dion.
Dionne Miller back on Hogan Johns. We got a lot more coming up. We got numbers to think about, which Katie will bring us, and some final thoughts as well before we close out. But first,
Adam, fall always feels like a reset between back to school stuff, busier routines, like driving the kids to every single sport they do, living in the car. Shorter days, that's happening now. Finding time can be tough to cook, right? It's just, you don't have it. But that's why I love Factor. It's why my son, my third son, loves Factor even more than I do, I think, because he comes home from school, Adam.
Son number 3?
Son number 3. Okay. He'll come home from school, instead of going for like chips now or like a banana, he looks for the Factor meals in the fridge and he asks me to heat them up. He loves like all the meat options, the steaks, the chickens. I'm not lying. This is like his go-to move now. I'm like looking forward to it.
It's good. I bring my Factor to Hal's, so I'm going to have it at Hal's right up with my chocolate ganache as the dessert.
It's delicious. It's delicious. So eat smart at factormeals.com/CHGO50 off and use code CHGO50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's CHGO50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
And our friends at Sunnyside Dispensary are here to elevate your football, basketball, and hockey season. I drove by a Sunnyside last night on Milwaukee Avenue, and I don't know if that's Deerfield or Riverwoods right there, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free shopping. They have a crazy selection with over 100 different strains to choose from with easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Wherever you are at in Illinois, Sunnyside has a location for you, or you can visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day. And if you're a returning customer, 50% off one Cresco Labs brand item. You can get that with code CHGO50. Sunnyside Dispensary, bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders. All right, John Z, it is that time.
Point is, those are some numbers.
Time for some numbers to think about. We bring in our producer, Katie Langen, to give us the numbers.
Let's go. All right, we have some good numbers here, all courtesy of Next Gen Stats. So the Bears defense has played cover 2 on 23.3% of opposing dropbacks this season, the 4th highest rate in the NFL. However, they've used split safety coverage overall on 41.7% of dropbacks, nearly identical to the league average of 42%. When in cover 2, the Bears have allowed 6.6 yards per attempt and a 67.4% completion rate. In all other coverage types, they've allowed 8.2 yards per attempt and a 73.6% completion rate.
I think what stands out to me about this number is like how much Dennis Allen trusts his safeties, Kevin Byard, and Jaquan Brisker. I don't know if the last game was Jaquan Brisker's best game. Like, I'm sure there were some things on film he didn't like against the Bengals, especially later on. I think we can all agree on that. But I think Dennis Allen has 2 pretty high caliber safeties. One, a true ball hawk, and Kevin Byard making plays again this late in his career that he trusts to do a lot of different things on the back end of his defense.
Yeah, I wonder, too, how much the injuries to the corners have affected that as well, and just kind of having to sometimes be forced to play a little bit of a safer cover 2 shell over the top just to, make sure you're not giving up anything too explosive, which has been a problem at times. So I think that's probably had an impact as well.
Absolutely. Next number.
All right. Well, DJ Moore has aligned in the slot on a career high 30.7% of his offensive snaps this season, while lining up out wide at a career low of 61.9% rate. However, since the Bears' Week 5 bye, Moore has aligned out wide on 67.5% of snaps, up 10.1 percentage points from weeks 1 to 4. When aligned out wide, Moore has been targeted on 20.3% of his routes, nearly double his 10.7% target rate when lined up in the slots.
So, John Z, I think this kind of points to the conundrum that is DJ Moore sometimes. Because I think he definitely it's a tough conversation at times, because I don't think that he has a problem with being used in all the different ways he's being used. In fact, I thought Sunday's game was a great way to use DJ Moore and kind of have him involved in all facets of the game, running the ball, catching the ball, throwing the ball even. But there are many times where, and I'll just speak for myself, I'm watching the offense and you just kind of wish that he was a more dynamic slot option route type player. And that's just not what he is. He is more of a outside X receiver, despite not necessarily being built like that. You know what I mean? And so this isn't any knock on DJ Moore at all. I just think that those numbers Katie's reading is sort of the feeling out process that Ben Johnson has probably had in how is the best way to just deploy this guy and get the most out of him, because he's a very unique wide receiver in the NFL.
And I think that applies to really all of the offensive personnel. I think Rome Odunze, I like to see the stats of Rome Odunze because I feel like he's been in the slot a bit, especially in some of these big runs. Like we talk about that block that Darnell Wright had where he's taking Shamar Stewart for a ride. Rome Odunze comes and fills that hole too, where he's making an impressive block as well, going from right to left as well. So the usage and how these players are being deployed by Ben Johnson, I think, is almost changing per game plan by week. And I think some of these numbers that DJ Moore has right now, at least that Katie just shared, illustrate that. Like, I was surprised, like, for all the talk that we've had about, like, Rome Odunze having this breakout season and his target load, like, do you know DJ Moore only has one less reception than him this season?
Yes, I mean, he's caught up here. He's caught up here for sure.
Yeah. Rome Odunze, 31 catches for 473 yards. DJ Moore, 30 catches for 403. And if you count the touches, like total touches, DJ Moore has more than Rome Odunze because he's carried the ball 12 times for 54 yards, and he's got that touchdown run. So it's just something to think about, especially when you consider, again, to your point, what Ben Johnson is trying to figure out what works best for everybody.
Right. And he had, 13, 20 of those. How many did you say he has on the season? 31?
For catches this year?
Yeah. He's
DJ Moore.
Odunze has
31. Odunze has 59 targets with 31 catches. DJ Moore has 44 targets with 30 catches.
So Rome has 31 receptions, and 20 of those came in the first 4 weeks of the season. Only 11 in the last 4 weeks, and 7 of those were against Baltimore. So it's that. I mean, it's.
Are you saying that maybe his dad has a point?
I mean, he did have 10 targets and 7 catches a week ago.
I know.
Can
we talk about that quickly though?
Sure. I don't know what to make. I don't get it.
I don't get it at all. But what I do get is that the Bears responded perfectly with their own produced video of all the exceptional blocking that Rome Odunze was doing against the Bengals.
Yeah. When the word selfless. Yeah.
Weird.
It is. I don't want to get in. I get uncomfortable talking about players' family stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just Rome seems like the least likely player that would
do that.
Well, it's not him doing it. I just mean, you know, we're all products of our parents, so that's why I mean. Like we're. It's just surprising to me because Rome stands there in his locker every single week. If 10 different reporters come and try to talk to him individually, he'll do it. I mean, he's rare like that. It never seems to complain about anything. He is selfless. He blocked his ass off on Sunday. So I don't know. It's
what I don't like about it, and I agree with you. It's weird, strange to talk about things like this but this is like the new media landscape we kind of work in, with everybody having access to everyone on social media. But now Rome Odunze has to be. Someone's going to ask him about it this week,
right?
At House Hall. It's going to happen.
Yeah. I guess you zoom out though, and John's, you know, it's a pretty normal thing in sports. Parents always have opinions.
Yeah, problem thing. The problem is it is almost too normal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. All right. Was that the last one, or we have one more?
I think I have one more.
More. This is the best one. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a visual here for you too. But so making his first NFL start, 7th round rookie running back, Kyle Monangai rushed 26 times for 176 yards in the Bears' Week 9 victory over the Bengals, with 123 of those yards coming after contact, all career highs. He forced a career high 6 missed tackles, resulting in career most 48 yards after missed tackles. Monangai was hit behind the line of scrimmage on just 11.5% of his carries 3 times, the lowest rate in a game by any running back with at least 20 carries this season.
Wow.
Well, that's a testament to the offensive line there
Yeah.
at the end and how much they were moving the line of scrimmage forward. But if you're listening to the podcast and you can't see that graphic, I mean, it's a thing of beauty. Just pick a lane. He ran through every single gap there is on the field. It's kind of like a spray chart for a running back, and it is just pretty much, I don't want to say evenly distributed because it's a lot between the tackles, but left, middle, right, he's got the whole field covered, Johnsy.
Yeah, a lot of green runs too, if you're looking at the graphic, which green is always good. I think what I like most about this, and I put this in my takeaways column, is what you're seeing, like what you saw against the Bengals is exactly what we saw throughout training camp. Like when you see that carryover, Colson Loveland too. What he did against the Bengals is what we saw in training camp, where he was a mismatch problem, where he's a willing blocker, and if he's in the secondary, he can make guys miss. He can break tackles. He can be a serious threat. Saw that from Colson Loveland in camp. That is carried over. Same thing with Kyle Monangai. Just always going forward with violence. Small guy, but man, does he run hard. And I think, Tremaine Edmonds said it himself. We saw all this throughout training camp. They had their own competitive periods against them. I think that is such a positive development for the Bears in Cincinnati, where you had these 2 rookies doing things that are expected of them and what they have done in practice.
Absolutely. Man, I think if you want to give DeAndre Swift one more week off, you
can.
You feel pretty good about it. All right. Well,
Point is, those are some numbers.
Those are some numbers to think about this week as we head into week 10 already. We take our last break. We come back. We'll transition to the Giants a little bit as we close out this midweek episode of Hogan Johns. For over a decade, Rhythm has cultivated cannabis that enables your flow state, allowing you to connect with the present moment. Now they're bringing that same obsession to Rhythm beverages with an effects-driven liquid that puts you in control of the dial, whether you want to turn up the energy or tone down the vibe. There is a Rhythm THC beverage that takes you where you want to be. Like this Sunday at our CHGO tailgate, because Rhythm's going to be there, and you could try it for yourself there if you want. What is Rhythm? Well, it's the #1 premium cannabis brand. They released THC drinks built to fuel your game day flow. It's not alcoholic, real juice, fast onset, low calorie. Best part, no hangover. There's 2 distinct states with Rhythm, one refreshing experience. You could check it out. Head to rhythmdrinks.com, use code CHGO, or scan the QR code on the screen for 15% off your first order. Again, that's rhythmdrinks.com, but you can also buy at retailers like Benny's. Scan and sip your way into the flow.
Okay, NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. I think the Bears are still 3.5-point favorites against the Giants for Sunday. I don't think it's changed. And I guess we just said, I think the Bears might be able to run all over them. So think about it. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Hogue and Johns. That's code Hogue and Johns for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see DKNG Let's do that again. See dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, John Z, as we close out this episode and look ahead to the New York Football Giants, I'm almost surprised the spread's not higher. 3.5 almost seems low with the state the Giants are in. I do think the Giants, I guess if you think about it, a couple weeks ago, they were 5.5-point favorites against the Saints at home, which they covered. The Giants are better than the Saints, and so I guess that makes sense. But they do not have Cam Scatabo anymore. Jackson Dart has infused some life into that team, but I still think he's limited and he's a rookie right now. It seems like a game the Bears should win by at least 4 points. And honestly, I think the message at House Hall, we heard a little bit from Ben Johnson on Monday talking about this, is they got to finish these games better.
Yeah.
They like even that Saints game a couple weeks ago, they were up 20-0 like that. And then all of a sudden it's 20-14. You blink and all of a sudden you've given up 14 points and it's a one possession game again. So I would imagine getting to a lead and just sort of cruising to a victory and not having it all of a sudden get dicey would be a point of emphasis this week.
To me, it's this. Can you call them an underachieving defensive line for the Giants based on like the talent and just the way it's been assembled, with the draft picks? I think there is like the Bengals defensive line is one thing. Like the Bears did what they did, and they literally shoved guys into the benches. Like that is beyond that is such a great thing to see, like on film, breaking it down later, not only by us, but I'm sure Ed Hallisall, they're going crazy about that. But the Giants they should be a better challenge for this offensive line, this Bears offensive line that is playing extremely good football right now, especially after the bye week. They are running the ball well. The pass protection, I think, is getting better. And if they could take another step against a Giants front that has a lot of talent, on paper, they're exceptional, I think, in my opinion. They were praised a ton leading into the season. Like if they have another good performance, if you get more pancake blocks on film from Darnell Wright, Theo Benedict, if you have another whirly bird block that is exceptional from Drew Dahlman, then I think it's then that whatever is happening up front under Ben Johnson and everything they've installed there, it's working. So that's what I'm watching, the trenches. Believe it or not, I'm watching the trenches.
I like how you said that, though, on paper, because, on paper, that front does look scary, and they added to it with Abdul Carter this year. Also, if we go from the paper to the spreadsheets, the nerd zone, EPA, bad.
Yeah.
They're 29th in EPA per play defensively, the New York Giants. So it's another one of these weeks. You look at the bottom 5 teams right now defensively, Johns. Cincinnati Bengals, dead last. Bears played them. Dallas Cowboys, 31st. Bears played them. Miami Dolphins are 30th. Not on the Bears schedule this year. But the Giants are 29th. Come to House Hall this weekend. And 28th, the Washington Commanders. Bears also beat. So, got to take advantage of it. Now, I would put this more in the category of, who's 25th on this list is the Baltimore Ravens, who also on the spreadsheets didn't look very good coming into that game. And you're watching the film, though, and you're going, I think they look better and they're getting healthier. I'd be a little nervous. I don't know if I'm nervous about the Giants, but I do think that the talent that's actually on that defense is better than 29th. So you always have to be conscious and aware of that. Whereas the Bengals were 32nd and the talent looked like they were 32nd. Yeah. And I'm talking about before the game, and certainly during the game, but even going into last week, you're like, there's nobody on this defense, especially if Trey Hendrickson's out. This is not that this week. You got to take this Giants team seriously.
Yeah. So again, if you see the pancakes, if Darnell Wright is serving pancakes, it's Soldier Field on Sunday. One, I think it's just a continuation of what this is like his real breakout season, because I think he's playing some of the best football on this Bears roster right now.
Yeah.
But I think this mix that the Bears have right now together, the starting five, it's working. It's functioning at a very high level right now.
Well, pancakes sound pretty good right now. So does the chocolate ganache. So we got to go to House Hall.
Get there fast.
Yeah, it's a race to make sure. Who is it? Is it Dwight that eats it all? Who is the one eating all the treats? Which of the cameramen do you want to throw under the bus?
I'm not a rat here.
Well, I don't pay attention to it. I just looking over and all of a sudden it's gone.
I've been known to throw a few colleagues under the bus for certain things, but I won't name names.
I will say usually that food is awfully close to Jeff Joniak's office.
No names. No names.
All right. We are out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please hit that like button. Become a diehard. Our insider analysis column is up now. Johnson's got that great deal. If you use code JOHNS, JAHNS, good time to sign up right now. And you'll get that full breakdown of Baby Daddy was the play and the Hogan Johns collection. You get 20% off. But Baby Daddy was the play that Tyson Bagent was involved with. And Tyson himself broke it down for us. That interview, by the way, will air at 1 p.m. today on CHGO Bears. If you want to check that out, we got you covered all across CHGO. We'll be back Friday to break down the Giants. Bears Giants preview episode coming your way on Friday. We will talk to you then.
See ya.